Good evening. Thanks to all for joining us virtually today. My name is Emily Rosbowski. I'm a librarian at the Mahopac Public Library in Putnam County. And today we're going to be talking about free access to Coursera classes for New Yorkers searching for work. This will grant you access to nearly 4,000 programs across high growth industries that will end up helping you hone skills in data science, business, and technology. We are also going to be touching on some resources that can help you pinpoint the type of classes that you should be, that would be most helpful for your desired careers. So just a couple of things to go over before we get into it. We're using Zoom. We're going to be using the chat for questions, so you can submit all your questions through the chat, and my colleague Amy is going to be helping me by fielding those. And I'm going to there's a couple of built-in points where I will pause throughout the presentation to take questions, and then there'll also probably be time at the end for that. So, okay. So today we're going to go over who is eligible for this program and how they may sign up for that, what to expect when you sign into your Coursera account, how to browse, search for, and enroll in classes, and also what resources you can access to help you determine what skills you need to learn. So, okay, so I got this from the Coursera website. So this is what Coursera is. So we're talking about Coursera today because the New York State Department of Labor partnered with Coursera to provide classes for high demand job skills for New Yorkers who are looking for work. So first, there are a few ways to get started with Coursera for New Yorkers. Here we actually see that it's linked on the Putnam Library's job and career help page. It's at the bottom of the page. I have that yellow arrow pointing to it. So this link doesn't go to Coursera. This actually takes us to this page, which is the New York Department of Labor registration page for this program. You need to scroll down a little bit to see the how to sign up section, and you'll just click on that register now button to get to this registration form. So at the top of the registration form, you'll see that the Department of Labor stipulates that this service is for New Yorkers who are unemployed, and that by submitting the form, you are testifying that you're affirming that you're unemployed. Now that doesn't mean, so most of this presentation is so very little of this presentation is about this part, is the signing up part. But there are like you can sign up for Coursera with a free account even without this program. The main difference is the access to classes. So if you just go to Coursera.org and make your own free account, not through the state, you'll still have access to free classes. But if you do it through this program, there's like many more free classes. And so that's the main difference. So even if you aren't necessarily unemployed at this time, but you're still interested in Coursera, most of what I'll be going over today will still be helpful. So on this form, they're going to ask you for your name, your email address, phone number, zip code, New York State region, as well as some topics you might be interested in learning about. So this is the list of topics to give you an idea. So it's a pretty straightforward and simple form. After you fill it out, in less than 48 hours, the state will email you with instructions for how to create an account. And you just follow those instructions. Once you have an account, you can go to Coursera.org to log in from there. And I just wanted to mention that all of the links that I'll be mentioning, I'm going to include on a follow-up email. So, and also this session is being recorded. So hopefully it'll be available in the future if you needed to refer to it. Okay, so. Okay, so yeah, I can take a break right now if anyone has questions about the form or the signing up. anything in yet about that stuff? Okay, so we can just move into what Coursera looks like and how to search for classes. So when you sign in, if you're doing it through the Department of Labor, the page is going to look a lot like this. If you're in a different region of the state, it's going to say whatever region you're in. So there are a couple of different ways that you can search for classes. But the first that I'm going to go over is categories, which are at the top of the page. When you click on a category you're interested in, it opens up a drop-down menu, which includes subcategories. You can click either the view all of that category or any of the subcategories to get to a page with the classes that are related to that category. So to get into a classroom here, you simply click on the tile that has the class that you're interested in. You might notice that at the top of the screen, there's also a couple of filters that you can use. So I'm just going to take a minute to go over those filters. So language is pretty straightforward. Language is what the language of the course is taught in. You can see they have, it's pretty diverse. There's also level, again, pretty straightforward. If you probably know whether you're a beginner or if you already have some skills related to that field. Next is skills, and this is kind of like subject. Next, after that is partner. So the partner is basically the organization that's running the class. So, and there could be multiple course partners. Okay. So next we have learning product and subject. And subject, again, it's pretty straightforward, but I'm going to take a minute to go over learning product. So learning product is basically what type of class you're interested in taking. There's the guided project, which ends with the project. There's the courses, which are basically straightforward, just courses. The specialization is a group of courses, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later. And then there's also the professional certificates, which end with certificates sponsored by professional organizations like Google or IBM. And Google just released a bunch of free classes through Coursera that are actually accessible with a free Coursera account. So again, if you can't necessarily sign up for it through the DOL, you can still get a free Coursera account with Coursera.org. And also, my colleague Amy has just done a guided project, so I might just take a minute. Like, do you want to add anything about what guided projects are like?
Yeah, actually, the guided yes, I can't talk already. So the guided projects are basically like the ones that I've done are maybe like an hour, hour and a half, depending on how long it takes to do it. And in them, you actually have like a split screen where the instructor is talking, and then you have a virtual desktop. That's been the way it's worked for me. Sometimes it's a little slow because you're working on a virtual desktop. So you're not working through your own computer on the software. You're working through a computer in the computer, for lack of a better description on that. And, I learned better that way. So I've found that they're really helpful to just like have step-by-step instructions instead of having to do that on my own in other classes. And, I'd be happy to, when it's time, if you'd like, I can take us into my courses and we can see what that looks like if we have time.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, if we have time at the end, that'd be great.
Cool.
Okay, so you may not use any of these filters, and if you do use them, you probably won't use all of them. But I think it's good to just know that they exist in case you're overwhelmed by the list of courses you need to look through, or just like as far as learning products go, it's a good idea to just know that there are different types of courses on Coursera so that you, if you know what you're looking for, you find the right thing. So for example, not all courses offer professional certificates. All courses have certificates. They're generally certificates of completion that are provided by Coursera, but professional certificates can count towards credit. So if you are taking a class or interested in a class that that doesn't have a professional certificate and you need some sort of accreditation, you would need to check with the whatever program you're getting the accreditation through to see if the Coursera certificate would count towards that. So that's just something to be aware of. Okay, so. Okay, so once you find a course and you click on the course title, it's going to look something like this. You'll have the title and the rating. You can enroll in the course from this, and the enroll date is always the date that you are looking at the course. So in general, you want to enroll in a course when you're ready to take the course, because that's when the deadlines are set. And you can also save it for later. So if you're browsing through courses but you don't know what you want to do first, or if you're browsing for them for maybe the following week, you can just flag it with a save for later, and I'll be showing you how to find those classes to enroll in later. And then there's also the course description. So, okay. So the next way to search for courses that I'm going to go over is through the it's actually blocked on my screen, so I hope other people can see it. It's the bar that says
we can see.
Okay. What do you want to learn? So it's at the top of the screen, and I have a red arrow pointing to it. People who are familiar with searching on the computer would know what to look for with that. So for this, you can just click into it and it will start suggesting courses to take, and it updates as you start typing. So, and what the suggestions that you see are actually courses. So if you click on something like technical support fundamentals, that will take you to the course page. Now you can also type in a term like technology, and that brings you to a search page. And you'll notice at the top, again, you have those same filters that you did when you were looking through categories. So we're going to go back to the home page. So at the home page where you first sign in, if you scroll down, you'll also find curated recommendations. So these recommendations are based on what you've been searching for, what you've been saving, the courses you're enrolled in, and you can just look through these to see if any of them are useful to you. Okay, so that covers the main ways to find classes on Coursera. Are there any questions about looking for classes yet? Okay, yeah.
Not so far.
Okay.
I'm talking to my muted screen.
Well, I saw you're not. Your shake. Okay, so we're gonna move on to your saved list as well as enrolling then. So the next thing, okay. So on the home page at the top, you'll see that there is the browse catalog, which is the page that you sign into. And then there's also my courses, which are here, I've circled in red. So when you click on my courses, this is where you'll find the courses that you're enrolled in, as well as your saved courses. The saved courses are going to be below the enrolled ones. So you just scroll down to see my saved courses. Here you'll see that there's a blue tile along with a couple of white tiles. The blue tile is a specialization, so that's why it's in blue. Now to enroll in any of these courses, you would just click on it and click enroll. The blue flag that I have circled in red, that's what you click to either save a course or remove it from this list. Okay, so when you click on the tile, so I clicked into the specialization. It looks very similar to what the courses look like when you click on them. So specializations are a series of courses, and rather than finding all the relevant classes yourself, if you take a specialization, it groups courses under a specific topic. So if you know that you're really interested in data literacy, or that's like a skill that you really want, you can take this, and it already has 5 courses for you picked out. And once you enroll in the specialization, it automatically enrolls you in the entire, in the first course. So you don't have to enroll in each course or anything, it automatically will do that for you. As you work through each course, you'll receive a certificate of completion for each course. So if you don't end up finishing the whole specialization, you'll still get credit for the courses you did do. And that's that. So, and then if you scroll down from, so this would be the top of the page, you scroll down, you'll see the individual courses, and you can click into these to see a page that would look like this. So this is what a course page would look like when you either click one of these titles here, or one of these tiles. So this is actually what is data science. That's the one I have pictured here. So again, you can enroll from here. It gives you an idea of what the course is about on this page. You can, when you scroll down, you'll see a week by week breakdown. It gives you also an approximation of how long the work for each week takes, which is great if you're busy with other things. Okay, I'm way past this. So, and you can also look at reviews if you're if you want to know what other people think about the class. Okay. So finally, we've got to the courses you're enrolled in. And like I said, this is going to be at the top of that My Courses page. So here we see Python for everybody, as well as meta literacy. So Python for everybody is a specialization. It includes 5 courses, and this person is enrolled in that first course, which is called Programming for Everybody. So that's where this person is. Meta literacy is a course that will take 5 weeks. Just move this because this is in the way. Okay. So you'll see the Programming for Everybody is a 7-week course. So Python for Everybody is a 5-course specialization, and the first course in that specialization is 7 weeks long. And as far as the weeks go, it is self-paced. So technically you can do work ahead. So if you have the time to do all of your work, you can do that. It has more to do with when instructors are going to be looking at your work and getting back to you. And then you might notice on the meta literacy course, it says reset my deadline. So if you start a course, or just enroll in a course and then you just don't do it, you're going to miss all your deadlines. But if you want to pick up where you left off, you just click reset my deadlines, and the deadlines will reset and you can pick up exactly where you left off. So even though there are deadlines and weeks and all these things, it's very flexible. You can really work with your own schedule to take these courses. Okay. So we're going to click into a course. So this is what it looks like when you click into an enrolled course. It will show you the title as well as a progress bar. You'll have an instructor's note. If you scroll down, it will give you a week by week breakdown of the work that you have. All of these things are clickable. So if you wanted to see the videos for week 1, you would just click where it says videos, and it will bring you to those videos. And you'll see again, it has the time breakdowns. And you don't necessarily have to do things in order, but it is recommended that you do the materials, so the videos, readings, and other before you do any graded work. I think the easiest way to navigate these classes, the ones that you're enrolled in, is to use the week by week overview way. So if this is very new to you, if you've never taken an online class, this is a good takeaway. So, or if you ever get lost while you're in the middle of a class, if you just focus on what week you're in and click into the week, it becomes very easy to navigate. You don't have to worry about going into all these other sections. Like all of the work is going to be in the weeks that you're in. So I'm right now in week 2. It has a blurb about what you're covering in week 2, as well as a little note from the instructors and the learning objectives. When you scroll down, you'll actually see a checklist for all of the work for that week. So, and again, all these items are clickable. You just click on the item that you're interested in looking at or completing. Once that's complete, a check mark will appear next to that item. So again, if you're not sure if you completed week whatever, you just click on that week, look through the list, and you'll be able to tell exactly what you got done. Okay, all right. So finally, before I stop with Coursera, when you're logged in, at the upper right-hand corner, there's going to be your name. And if you click on that, that will give you access to settings in your profile, as well as the Help Center. So the Help Center is where they have articles about how Coursera works. So if you're stuck on something, you might check there. I'm also willing to help with questions about Coursera. So, and I'll have my my email address at the end of this presentation. So that is everything about Coursera. So are there any questions about Coursera?
Yes. So we have some questions. First, we'd just like to see that sign up screen again. There was a little bit of confusion whether or not you could sign in with your Department of Labor information.
So do you mean the registration form?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As I swig coffee.
Oh yeah, so this one. So I'm not going to tell people to not sign to sign up, even if you are employed and you're just interested in learning more. But I'm not sure how the state checks this. But yeah, so this is what they say.
And actually, that I'm going to bust in. We have another question about somebody said that they are currently employed, but they don't feel positive that they're going to continue their employment. Mm-hmm. And they're interested in finding out some different careers. And I think that there's some information about careers in general. Mm-hmm. So if you could just discuss that again. And, I don't think that they can check. I don't know how they would.
I'm really not personally. I signed up for this service before they put this blurb in. So
me too.
I have my own, I have an account and I have a job. So far nobody has come at me, but again, I'm not going to recommend, I'm not going to legally tell people to do that. I would also say that if you're interested in the classes, maybe you can start by going to Coursera.org and see what they have for free. Because that way you can get a good idea, oh, maybe I can just get the free account and sign in that way and look at it. And I can go to the Coursera page. And so you see, they have a bunch of join for free buttons. It's not a trick. It is a free account. The main thing is that there are classes that are fee-based. So not all of them are. There are free courses, but a lot of the classes that you might see in the Department of Labor version are classes that might be fee-based in this if you got a free Coursera account. If that clears up a little bit.
I think it does. And just as a quick plug for the Department of Labor, I have gone to many, many meetings over at the one on older, I don't remember. It's the one right by Hannaford on 6. I think it's Old Route 6 or something like that. It's an old school that was turned into government and city buildings. So They're delightful. They are super nice. If you call and tell them, I cannot imagine that they would just be like, nope, good luck.
Yeah.
So definitely, definitely, definitely. If you have questions that Emily or I, mostly Emily, am not able to answer today, super, super call them and let them know that you're interested, and I'm sure that they will steer you correctly.
Thanks, Amy. That's a great idea. Like if you are concerned about your eligibility, like talking to the Department of Labor is probably the best bet. So is there anything else that anyone had? Okay. And if anybody thinks of anything, we'll probably still have time at the end to go over anything else. So let me go back to the end of this. Okay.
And just while you're finding the page, Francisco, who is a librarian at the Field Library in northern Westchester, did mention that the Department of Labor in Peekskill is located on 201 South James Street, Peekskill, New York. And he has the phone number in the chat. And so definitely call them. Anyone will be like totally willing to help you. I've never met anyone at the Department of Labor that hasn't been kind and patient. So please give them a try. And I'm out.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so now we're going to be moving into a couple of resources that might help you decide what types of classes you should be taking. So the first one is another resource through the Department of Labor. It's called My Employability Score. I know it sounds really fun. So basically you answer a couple of questions and it will tell you how employable you are. But I think the main takeaway from it is the skill assessment. So in a lot of the questions are actually questions that are skill, like, do you have this list of skills that usually the career that you picked that you would need for that career. So you can, reading through this will give you a good idea of what is required for something like this, and you can check off the ones you have or not, and leave the ones you're not. And on the right side of the screen is the score, which will update as you do that. So when it's complete, you get a score, and then it's explained, like it gives you a little explanation of that. The score is, it's kind of meaningless, but it gives you, like, the going through the skills will give you an idea of what skills are required. So that can help you address what gaps you have, which will help you find out what classes to have. Now, what's more helpful are the negative and positive factors, which are listed below. So the positive factors are, things that may work in your favor based on the answers you've given. And then there are the negative factors, are things that may work against you in your job search. So these are interchangeable based again on your answers. I don't like to, I'd like to think of the negative factors as not necessarily like the worst thing ever. This may help you identify things that you may be able to change. You may not be able to change everything on this list, but you may be able to change something like your skills, which is something that Coursera can help out with. The next section is My Competition. So this will show you like an overview of the availability of the types of jobs that you're looking for in your area, as well as the amount of other people they predict are looking for those jobs in that area. So, and it gives you a chart to go over that. And so that's basically the My Employability Score thing. The other resource, which I really like this, I really like this resource, is called Learn to Become. So you just go to Learn to Become and put in a career that you're interested in, or you can start off with the career that you are already in and maybe trying to change. And it will take you to the career profile. So every profile starts with an at a glance and an in-depth summary. The at a glance is something that that might be more popular knowledge about the job, whereas the in-depth really goes into some of the things that you may not consider would be part of this job. The next part is a chart that compares like career goals to what type of education level would be needed for that. So the way you could actually look at this either way. You can say, okay, I have a bachelor's degree, and then read over the career goal and see if that resonates with you, or you can read through the career goals and see what type of education you would need, like what level of education you would need to align with those goals. The next section drills down into different jobs. So this is just one example of a job. Each career page is going to have a couple of jobs shown, and it will give you a description of the type of job as well as the education requirements for that job. Okay, so the next section is salaries. So again, it gives you different job options that are related to the career that you chose, and then the different salaries that align with those jobs. So, okay, the next is a skill summary. So this is another place where you can assess yourself as far as like where your gaps are and what classes that might help with addressing those gaps. Okay. Okay, so this is another place. This is another, yeah. So this is another place where that can be really helpful, especially for those of you who may be thinking about trying out a different career or a different job. So at the beginning of this, I mentioned that you could put in your current career into that search field. And if you do that, you can just scroll to the bottom to this section and you'll be able to see all the jobs that use similar skill sets to what you already are used to using. It's just a different type of job. So you'll be able to look at that, and then you can click on the job that you're interested in and learn more about that and where your skills may still have gaps. So it gives you an idea of what's out there in related positions. So that's what I have, and that was pretty quick. So we have a lot of time for questions.
We do have questions. If you could show us where the employability score and learn how to become, and the other one that you mentioned, how you access those.
Okay, so I'm going to be sending out links for all of them, but the employability score is on the Department of Labor. I don't have the page for that. So if you go to the Department of Labor website for New York State, they have a lot of resources on that page. So I'd recommend just going over that stuff if you're interested in. But I will also be providing the direct link for the employability score test in my follow-up email. So as far as learn to become, it's just learntobecome.org. That's what it is. And that's also going to be included on that link list. So, and yeah, all of the things that I've brought up, I'm going to put on there. So was that the question? Okay.
Yes. So if you want, I can go through what my learning project looks like. I don't think we have any more questions. So if you want, I can do that. And God knows what's on my screen right now. I'm actually like, this is how I was spending my time earlier. I was doing a class. I am going to be teaching a class in SketchUp at probably the beginning of June. So I've been making sure that I know what I'm doing. So this is a regular class. And that's what it looks like. I have, as I play, I don't think I have volume on, which is, you're welcome. But I'm getting step-by-step instructions on how that works. And I'm going to go back out of my CAD fundamental, and that's just computer aided design. Excuse me. And like Emily said, they didn't always have that certification of unemployment. Like, they gave us the link and we were like, okay. So, I can't imagine how they can check. And I also feel that the spirit for people who are at risk of losing their job, I can't imagine that people would say that that's not a worthwhile thing. So I'm going to go ahead while I find what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, no, I think the point of this program is to make sure that New Yorkers have the skills they need to get the careers that they want to have and to have lucrative careers in the state. So yeah, I think that's the spirit of it.
Okay. And it was cut off by my screen. So I'm going to just view my courses, because these are completed courses. I was like, how do I do that? Okay. So I can go in and review them.
Okay.
And so let's see if I can go in again. Okay. Yeah, I can look at the project. And so this is the upgraded external tool. So this is where it pops us into this double screen, and I have to agree to use the tool responsibly. So you'll all have to do that too. So it says, this is your cloud workspace, and this is a video of your host's cloud workspace. And let me just close that. So this is, I was working on GIMP because I'm doing a class on that. So you can actually see on one side, on the right-hand side, there's actually the view of what the instructor is doing. And then this is still connecting, but on the left-hand side, oh yeah, there it goes. Rhyme is the external learning tool, by the way. And so I actually have access to the software that they're using through this. So it is a really nice setup. And I finally muted this lady. No, I didn't. Okay. And if you'd like to see what the certificate looks like, I can go to my accomplishments page. And so you can see, let's do my getting started in GIMP. And so I can download or share my certificate. And, it just tells, again, this isn't continuing education credits. Like, it's not like a nationally or internationally certified continuing education class. But as Emily said, it just tells them that you took a Coursera course and you finished it. So, and I do think, and you can actually share it to, I saw somewhere that you can share it to LinkedIn, which was cool. So that's all really, it's pretty easy to kind of go through it. So I'm going to stop my share.
Okay. I have a question. So you mentioned that little internal computer
Yeah.
screen. So on through that you have access to the programs that you use for the class. So even if you don't personally have those programs, you can at least have it for the extent of the projects and learn how to use them.
Correct. However, if I would say, if you do have access to the tool on your own computer, it might be worthwhile not to wait for the lag, because sometimes it's a little laggy, as you saw that connecting. So, I like to teach on free resources. So everything I was learning, I already had access to. So I just kind of split my screen and went on with it.
Okay. Well, that's great. Is that right?
I don't think we don't have any more questions right now. And this is why I mute. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if no one else has questions, then we can wrap it up. I'll probably be emailing everybody tomorrow with the list of links that we went over, and you can contact me with any questions that you have about what we presented tonight or Coursera in general. And thank you all for coming. I hope that you got something out of it.